Sarachnis is an early to mid-game boss that you can kill with dirt cheap gear. It's not bad for getting your first few mil GP if you're a really early game player, and even if you're a maxed endgame sweat, it's really good for grinding out hard and elite clue scrolls. It's also useful for practicing prayer switching, an essential skill used at all levels of the game. I'm going to show you literally everything you need to know as quickly as possible to get grinding this boss out. We're not going to go super in depth, as with all my guides, it's about cutting out all the extra fluff that you don't need and getting you playing the game instead of watching YouTube videos about how to play the game. We'll cover all the basics and go through a full example kill and then give you some juicy tips at the end for players looking to up their game a bit. If you've got any other early to mid game bosses you'd like to see guides on like this one, please just let me know. Recommended stats for this boss are not particularly high, but as always, the higher the better. You should be fine with around base 65 in each combat stat. Let's crack on straight away and have a quick talk about the gear setup I'd recommend. I'll show you what I'm wearing, and this is a pretty decent minimum standard. If you're not much of a quester, stuff like the Nezi helm and Barrow's gloves can certainly be swapped out for more common alternatives. All you really need to do is maximize your magic defense, crush damage, and strength bonus. There are plenty of options for higher levels. This is the table from the wiki strategy guide that's helped me pick my gear for this video. You'll notice the mixed hide isn't on here, but I really like it over black dragon hide for its extra crush bonus and the fact that it looks super cool. For the rest of your inventory, a telly here such as a Book of the Dead or Xeric's Talisman are essential. If you don't have either of these, setting your house to Hesidius is a good option. Stat boosting potions like a combat or super combat will definitely speed up your kills too. After that, prayer potions and food. The exact ratio you bring will vary depending on your stats, gear and skill at the boss, but you can see what my inventory looks like on screen. This is a great starting point. As you get better at the boss, you can bring more potions and less sharks to lengthen your trips. Final point, you'll need a slash weapon to get through the spider webs in the dungeon, which is why I've bought a DDS which also doubles as my special attack weapon. Once you've teleported to either Xeric's Glade, Lunch by the Lancelums, or you've exited your house in Hesidius, you'll need to head through to the Forthos dungeon. Enter the entrance and head all the way south, slash in the webs as you go. You'll eventually reach Sarachnis' arena. Let's go over the mechanics before we demo the fight. There are 4 main things you need to be aware of. Sarachnis uses melee if you're standing next to her. This can be prayed against and you'll be protected completely. We want to be stood in melee range as much as we can be, with protection from melee up. Sarachnis also uses ranged if you're not standing next to her. This can be prayed against too. She'll freeze you in place with her webs for a couple of seconds, then run away. This will mean you have to switch to protect from range, wait until the webs disappear, and then protect from melee again once you've clicked on the boss and you're attacking her again. She'll also spawn 2 lots of additional monsters as you weaken her. The blue guys are magic users, which is why we've got armor with a reasonably good magic defense. If your magic and defense stats are low, you can take these out. If not, ignore them. You should be able to eat through any damage they put out. The orange ones are melee users and should definitely be ignored, as you should have protection from melee up for most of the fight. If you've made it this far, please like the video if you found it useful and drop me a subscription. It really helps grow the channel and I want to reach 10,000 subs by the end of the year. Now we've gone through the basics, let's go through a full example kill. Okay, so get your protection from range up, get your best stat boost in prayer open, and sip any combat potions you've got and get straight on the boss. When you're stood next to her, like I am now, you want your protection from melee up and your melee boost in prayer up, and dump your specs like I'm doing now. Then just switch back to whatever your crush weapon of choice is. I am using the Sarachnis Cudgel. When she hisses like that, that's when you'll be webbed. You'll need to switch to protect from range, get as close as possible as soon as the web is gone, and then just get protection from melee back on and get on the boss. That is the main loop of the fight. She's doing it again there. She's hissed. So protection from range, web's gone, back on the boss, protect from melee. Loop that round, and the only other thing you have to deal with is these guys here. So these are the spiders I was talking about. The orange one you can ignore. If the blue one's doing too much damage that you can't manage it, then you should definitely take care of it. I'm not in too much of a sticky... Oh, actually, I might be after taking that 10. I was going to say I'm not in a sticky situation, but my health's looking pretty low now. Yeah, I can die here, so I need to eat up. Make sure I'm praying at the same time. I want to tank the range hit and tank the melee hit with the bright prayer up, and then just eat up when I can. The best time to eat is when you've been webbed, because you won't be wasting any time eating, because you can't attack the boss whilst you're webbed. So that's when you should eat if you can, if you want that little bit of extra efficiency. There's the second round of additional monsters in there. This is when you can start taking a lot of damage from the blue guys. So, like I say, if you are taking a lot of damage that you can't manage it, just take care of them. Like, I'm getting absolutely spanked here. I probably should just kill them, but I'm being stubborn and I'm going to kill the boss without killing the blue guys. Oh, well, there we go. One's down. So that might make things a bit easier. You don't necessarily need to kill both. If you're just taking a bit more damage than you'd like, get rid of the one and just get back on the boss. It's kind of at your own discretion. There's no hard and fast tactic. It depends on your gear. It depends on your stats. It depends on, you know, just how confident you are with the boss and how much you're willing to chance losing stuff. But yeah, that is the fight. Loop it round. When she hisses, put protection from range on and run back to her. And then put melee on. There we go. So yeah, that's all it takes to kill Sarachnis. But if you want to make it a little more efficient, here are some spicy extra tips. If you've got the cash, Arania boots bypass this boss's main mechanic. The webs, you can just run out of them straight away. They're like 5 million coins, which is like 25 times the cost of this entire setup. And it really doesn't make it that much easier. But it's definitely worth it if you're in for a long grind or you've just got loads of cash. If you get throws in place next to a major, I definitely recommend just getting a few hits on them. Even if they're only doing a little damage, you may as well be efficient and it might save you a few sharks in the long run. If you want to completely ignore this guide, go for a range setup. Sarachnis can't attack you on the edge of the arena, so as long as you camp on the sides and pray range, the only damage you're going to take is the magic damage from the little blue spider. That's it from me, and as always, like, comment and subscribe to boost me in the algorithm and help me share my guides and tips with other players who need them. Thanks for sticking around, I'll see you next time.